preview with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And you know what? This team excites me because they have a duo that can really write their own check if they want to. And the duo of the duo of Cat and Ant. These two are just, it is so funny, Cat and Ant. Like literally they sound like a cartoon, you know what I mean? And I just truly do feel that this team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, are going to be such a dynamic force because by Ant going to play for Team USA this summer, it's really put his confidence on a new level. And Anthony Edwards just got that monster extension as well too. Once that is set in place, he'll be the highest paid player in basketball as well. So when you look at the way that this team sets up, you have Rudy Gobert, one of the top defensive centers in the league. You got Luka Garza, who's going to be a really good offensive player this year if he's used correctly. It looks like that he's a two-way player at this point, but they need to really look into playing Luka Garza a little bit more because I felt he was the best player coming out of college a few years back, but I know that he's a little bit older and he's tall and he went to Iowa, so they didn't look at him the way that I was looking at him. But Luka Garza was one of the best players in the nation and should have been drafted. And, you know, he was an absolute gem still for a team like Minnesota. Then you got Naz Reid, who's a really good big man as well, too. And this is what makes you really excited about the Wolves because they have a lot of height. Then they got Troy Brown Jr., who's a nice pickup from the Lakers. And then, you know, Kyle Anderson, slow-mo, is pretty much a poor man's Lamar Odom. And, you know, if this guy can do what he did last year and help this team with great leadership, great basketball IQ, this team can be much better than they were last year. And I think that this team, they just had a lot of issues with staying consistent. Now they have a team in place that will probably have them in the top 5 of the Western Conference. The West is really top heavy. It's really tough at the top. But I feel like Minnesota can be a team that plays into that because they have a difference maker in Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, his point total should be going up. His rebound total should be going up. His shooting percentage should be going up. And his assist total should be going up. He is ready to become the all-around leader of this Wolves team. And if he can excel the way that he did during the Team USA run in the World Cup, then lights out for a lot of teams when it comes to playing the Wolves this year. And the Wolves already do have a great home court advantage as well, too. So there's just a lot of things that play a part into this team being much, much better this season because their best player has improved. He's became a better player. And when you see the 44.5 for their win total, you say to yourself, you got to take it because I see at least 6 teams in the West with 50 wins or better. You know what I mean? And I think that this could possibly be another season where all 8 teams have to be at least a 50-game winner or at least over 47, 48 wins to even think about being in the playoffs this year. So it's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be really, really intense. The Western Conference is pretty much going to be the same thing it's been over the last 15 years or so. It's going to be a tough conference. It's going to be tough because this is where the stars play at. And we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? And I think the Wolves are a team with a really strong chance to really impress all of us this year because they have the right type of roster to move forward and have an exceptional season and really write their own story if they want to. You know what I mean? So with that, we'll go ahead and we'll take ourselves our first break. And when we come back, we will be talking the NFL aftermath for week 7. So with that, you guys just hold tight. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles with the one and only Pop Dibiase, the Primetime Capper, and I'll be right back at you.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but